Alright everyone, here we are with ticker symbol WWR, Westwater Resources Inc. And before we jump into this chart, I want to say welcome to all my first time viewers and investors. Welcome to my channel, Invest for Tomorrow. To all my subscribers, welcome back, and let's jump into this chart. So Westwater Resources had a hard fall yesterday, and there was no real point of reference to have a true resistance level from yesterday. So I had to use the highest peak before the fall, and this got nowhere near it. I mean, this just continued to hang out sideways. But one thing I am noticing is that the 50-day moving average by default is going to give a chance to the bulls to break through it if they decide to and load up on stocks, because this is slightly hanging out right now in bearish territory for some time, but it can turn around quickly if the bulls decide to load up on stocks and get over back into bullish territory. Now let's go ahead and move our resistance levels and new support levels to their locations. And the resistance level moved tremendously, but our support didn't move by much. Now, one thing I do want us to pay close attention to as well is the fact that the 50-day moving average is super close. Like I've been stating that and so forth, but it's also super close to the resistance level. So if the bulls are able to go ahead and break through this resistance level, they're on their way to possibly getting back into bullish territory. Now, we're slightly in bearish territory. This could turn around if the bulls come in hefty and load up on stocks. If not, the bears can appear and tear this apart, bringing it down to newer lows and further away from the 50-day moving average in a downward direction. So that's something to keep in mind and pay very, very close attention to. Now, here we are with our first resistance level, and it's the most important number right now for the bulls to get closer to the 50-day moving average, and that's 653. The bulls need to break through 653, turn that into a support, and start to work their way up to newer highs and newer resistance levels. Obviously, if 653 is crossed, that's not that far from the 50-day moving average of 655. That gives that leverage to the bulls to get back into bullish territory. If they can break through 653, they're well on their way, getting closer to the 50-day moving average, possibly being able to get back into bullish territory. So they have to turn that into support and start to break away from it to hit newer highs and newer resistance levels. On the other hand, we have what the bears want. We've been in bearish territory for some days now, almost for a whole week, and the bears have been dominating this. So this can go two ways. The bulls can start gaining possession, so they need to break through the 50-day moving average, obviously, and the first step is breaking through resistance. Or the bears can actually appear and tear this one down from 613, bringing it down to newer lows. And the first thing they're going to want to break through is the lowest point of today, which is 584. That number right there is actually the lowest point in this bearish run, 584. 584 gets broken through, this could be well on its way down closer to 537, 540 range. And if that gets broken through, this will start to see newer lows and newer support levels. So I want to emphasize to all investors, pay close attention to how this is behaving if it breaks through support. How quickly is this moving to newer lows? How quickly is this reacting? What's the behavior of this stock? Who's dominating it? Are the bears dominating it, or are the bulls trying to reappear and bring this one back up? Because right now, the tug of war is in a location that is pretty close to changing around either in this direction and getting more bearish further away from it, or in this direction and getting itself back into bullish territory and continuing to run. So those are the two possibilities right now, and the tug of war is a close one. But if this support gets broken through, we're already in bearish territory. So all I can do is say, pay close attention to it. I need to emphasize that to all investors. Pay close attention to how this stock is reacting. If it breaks through 584, how quickly is it hitting newer lows? How quickly is it moving further away from the 50-day moving average in a downward direction? Or is it hanging out in that area kind of in a sideways direction, giving a chance for the bulls to reappear, load up on stocks, and take advantage of the price to bring this one back up? because that is the other possibility. But I believe that if this gets broken through, the bears are already dominating and they're just confirming their domination over the chart and continuing to try to bring this one down to newer lows and newer support levels. So that's something to keep in mind and pay close attention to. As always, if you found this video helpful and informative, please do so and subscribe. Share this with your friends and community. Don't forget to click on the bell to turn on all notifications to not miss a single video that I post. Don't forget to hit the like button so you can let me know you watch this video. And thank you guys so much for watching. At the end of this video, there's going to be a pop-up video. In that video, I will be talking about the S&P 500 index and how it's been rising several points. It's been rising several points on scheduled dates. These scheduled dates are actually the dates of the Federal Reserve pumping the market. And in doing so, that actually gives that effect of rising up the S&P 500. Now, the S&P 500, the charts show it that it has been rising on these dates. What does that mean for us as investors? Well, if it's been rising on these dates, that means that there's individual ticker symbols within the S&P 500 index rising up with it. And I know that these ticker symbols aren't rising up by much when you hear it, but it does add up per share when you have lump sums of these shares or you buy a certain amount. They're rising up from 30 cents to $3. And I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but per share that does add up. And as I always say, if you put $1 into the market and you got back $2, you initially started with less and you received more once you got out of the market before going in. That's what it's all about. We're here to make profits. We're here to learn, grow together, and also maximize profits and minimize losses. This strategy that I talk about in the video, I go into more detail about it. It doesn't guarantee you profits. I'm not there to tell you to buy, sell, or hold anything. I'm there to just inform every single investor and viewer on the great news that there's an opportunity to make profit, whether the market's going up or it's going down. You have to do your due diligence and your own research. I'm just here to relay the information that a lot of people are overlooking or are completely unaware of. And I don't want any single of my viewers and investors to miss out on this great opportunity to maximize profits, minimize your losses, and see for yourselves in that video. The charts speak for themselves. Obviously, again, you got to do your due diligence and research, but those charts are showing it, and these stocks are moving up 30 cents to $3 per share, and that does add up. Click on the video. It should be popping up soon. The link is about to pop up if it hasn't already, and I hope you guys find that video helpful and informative as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.